what's up? This is Sebastian Mikael, and you're watching Magic Rabbit Productions right here. Chilling. Peace.
Hey, it's another Q&A with DJ Beatstreet, and today I have Slip and Slide Records recording artist Sebastian Mikael. Sebastian, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Cool.
I know you've been running a lot today in Philly, man.
Yeah, today and yesterday actually. Yesterday was a packed day. We did a lot of stuff. Went to like Power 99, did a bunch of performances, interviews and stuff. So
Okay.
it was dope.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you heading up to New York?
Yeah, actually tonight.
Okay.
Heading up there.
Busy schedule.
It is, man. You know, it's definitely busy schedule, but you know, I love being on the road, so it's all fun. You know what I mean?
Man, back in my road tripping days, that's what I live for, man. Be on the
Yeah,
road,
definitely.
seeing new places. And you know, speaking about new, I mean, a lot of people out here are figuring, you know, that you're a new artist. So I mean,
Right.
quickly let them know like who Sebastian Mikael is and like what's your musical style.
Right, definitely. Well, I'm from Sweden originally. To start off, my name is Sebastian Mikael. I came over here for about 6 years ago, and basically, my reason for coming over here in the beginning was just I wanted to do R&B and like soulful type of music, and the market over here was a lot better. So yeah, basically I've been signed to Slip and Slide for about a year, and we finally got our first single last night.
Mm-hmm.
And style is it's definitely like I'm bringing back a more soulful R&B feel. Well, that's what I want to bring back with my music and my album and everything. But at the same time, I want to mix it up with something that's current. And I feel like the first single definitely has that. It has a throwback feel. It actually samples an Albie Shore song from the 80s.
Yeah.
Night and Day, yeah.
Yep.
And we mixed it up with something that's current, beat-wise and stuff like that. And Wale jumped on the track too, so it's definitely that kind of, represents my sound and what I'm trying to do, with the album and with my music and stuff. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hold on to that thought, because we're going to get back on that Albie
Okay.
Shore and everything.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so, you said you were signed to Slip and Slide.
Yeah.
What did you do to get, Ted Lucas's ear to get you onto the label?
Well, we started putting out a lot of music when I was going to school. I went to a school in Boston, a music college. And, during that time, we was putting out a lot of music and a lot of videos and stuff, and just started performing around in the college market. And so we put out actually one mixtape that we started performing off and just passing it around and stuff like that. And we got signed off a video we did. They found a video, A&R Slip, and then they flew us down to Miami, and from there we made the deal and stuff. So
okay, solid.
It wasn't all made in one day,
Yeah,
it's kind of
over
narrowed it down
time.
to one,
Yeah, but I guess you being on a Slip and Slide roster, are you I guess officially their first R&B act?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Going to something that was more hip hop, rapper driven, and you're now the new face and an R&B face.
It's crazy. It's really dope, and the fact that they were open minded. Like my music. Like I came with music to the label when they heard it and they liked it, and we made the deal like on a good collaborative, like creative tip. You know what I mean? Like they liked what I was doing already, and we felt like we wanted to just take it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really trying to just show a new face, a new for Slip and Slide, you know what I mean, a new face, and it's different now, and then we all on the road together and stuff like that. So it's definitely exciting,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's the first imprint, and the second imprint that you're under is under Capitol, and
Right.
I know that a lot of artists, doesn't matter if you're a rapper, R&B singer, the big deal is I want to get signed to the majors.
Yeah.
But you weren't always under that. You were under Epic at one point.
Yeah.
And how was that? Was there any insecurities, or is there are you able to talk about the reason why you left Epic and went to Capitol?
Yeah, I mean, well, basically at the time, like it wasn't a good fit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we tried it out, and it didn't really go the way we planned. You know what I'm saying? And we just felt like it was time to move on and take it to the next, you know what I'm saying, take it to the next step. But when I started, it was a lot of complications because I'm an international, like I came as an international student.
Okay. So
I had a lot of problems with my visa to begin with, which caused a lot of issues in the beginning. But I finally got that situated and stuff. But that kind of slowed a lot of things down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we just felt like it was right. You know what I mean? Taking it to a different, place and stuff like that. But I still have a lot of love for everybody at Epic and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I mean, well, when you came in on your visa, you should have said I'm gonna be an international superstar. Forget
yeah,
student,
exactly,
forget
right?
student. Let them know what
just
you was
come
coming
with
down
that,
for.
You know what I mean? Just give me the stamp and go over and make music.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But you mentioned to me the first single last night.
Yeah.
You have a feature on there, Wale.
Wale, yeah.
How'd that come about?
Well, he actually heard the song like a day after we cut the song. So we was in Miami. We had we cut the record and it was sent to him, and like literally within like 7 hours he sent the version back with his verses, which was crazy. And like he told me, man, like he was like, man, it's a smash. Like I really like this song, and he felt like it was a lane for it too. So the fact that he wanted to be part of it was amazing. I'm really happy he wanted to be part of it, and he's been supporting a lot too. With the record.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you listen to the record, and it does sound like it's a Wale type lane.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, man, and I'm glad that he felt that too, because in the studio we really, felt like, man, this has his type of sound. You know what I mean? Like he would sound dope on this record. So you don't always get what you envision. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when that happened, it was really like, wow, this is really what I envisioned. You know what I'm saying? What I saw, and it's dope that it happened like that.
Yeah, and also that single last night. You were just telling about the samples you use and sonically, you got a couple of hi-hat, sound like trap snare, a little bit like twerk. It sounds current.
Exactly.
But the sample, and I noticed Ariana Grande, her 2 singles are very popular hip hop samples, and now you're going for the I'll Be Sure. But why? Why that?
I'm glad you asked that question, man. And that's what I was like, just sound wise, what I wanted to do was, and I'm glad it's the first single because. I wanted to bring something that felt soulful. Like, even like when you listen to the chords of it, just the chords, be like, wow, that sounds familiar. Like, I feel like it has a throwback R&B sound. You know what I mean? And you hear that sample, and, usually, like, people in, like, our generation, like my age and stuff, they won't know what it is, but they feel like it sounds familiar for them. You know what I mean? But it felt right. It felt soulful. It had, like, a throwback feel. I love R&B from, like, the 90s and 80s and stuff.
Okay.
And like you said, like trap type of drums, you know what I mean? I like that contrast, putting that together, you know what I mean? And a lot of stuff I have on the album actually got that type of feel. It starts with something soulful. Like usually I write all my songs with guitar.
Okay.
But then I like mixing it up. I like bringing in other elements, like the drums in this case with last night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just fell in love with that contrast, and definitely fell in love with the sample too. So.
Okay, yeah. I mean, and like you said it, I think, props to you for taking that risk, because I feel like a lot of kids this age have been like, what is this?
Yeah.
I heard that and I was just like, this dude. Okay.
That's what's up, man.
And then, you got some kids going back digging, and, you're going to have a lot of older folk that are still listening to either the hip-hop or the R&B stations, and this record comes on, and you have automatic fans.
Right, and it's funny, actually, like, Albie Shore himself tweeted the record, like, hit me up on Twitter and stuff.
Word?
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, man. I was like, man, I gotta double check and see if this is really Albie Shore, because I don't know. But it was his official page, man. And he like really supported it, so stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got my ears, and I know you got a couple of people's ears. With this track, the samples you use. Your album coming up. Any production that we might expect on your album?
Yeah. We're the producers up last night, Big D and Lamb. Big shout out to Big D and Lamb. They're amazing. They came with the whole concept of last night, and they have a lot of songs on the album as well, and they're amazing. So we have them on the album. We got about to go in the studio with Rico later on this month, and we're who else? I produced a few tracks on there. That's probably about it. Yeah.
Okay, so this is probably gonna be mostly all you and
yeah. I like keeping it. I feel like when you find a chemistry with somebody, I want to build off that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can go around to different people, but I like working with people that I can find a chemistry with, and it feels natural like that.
Yeah.
So both Rico Love and Big D and Lamb, we have a chemistry working together. So I wanted to just keep doing that. You know what I mean? For the album. But we're actually going to put out an EP first. Okay. In November, before the album comes out.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, for some songs that didn't make the album, but they're really, really great songs that I, really want to share with people. So
Oh, no, I'm excited to hear it. And then, you know, like you said, you work with you know, a couple of good, great producers, and we see you got Wale. Anybody else you want to get us excited about?
Man, you know, at this point I don't have any other features, man. But you know, I definitely want to collab with like J. Cole on the album.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he would be dope having on the album.
Or maybe a Last Night remix.
Huh?
Last Night remix, maybe.
Why not?
With J. Cole.
Not? Yeah, man, that would be ill. That would be really dope.
That would, yeah. And he's, I mean, and both of them on tour right now. They just came to Philly on Wednesday.
Wow. Okay, I didn't even know.
Yeah, you just missed them.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, no, definitely J. Cole. Even Drake. Drake is dope too.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoever I link up with, I feel like, you know, as long as it feels natural and you know what I'm saying, the chemistry's there and it don't feel forced in any way. You know, I personally love J. Cole's sound and Drake's sound, especially what they're doing right now. So I think that would be a dope fit. You know.
Yeah, man, it's all about progression.
Exactly.
You know, progression and harmony between the two artists. You guys make something great.
That's all it is. Yeah.
And then we were talking about the album, and the album, actually, the name is Speechless. But I mean, I want to know why you choose that. I mean, you're a guy from Sweden, comes to America, goes to school, gets signed to a label, gets signed to a major label. I mean, I don't know why Speechless. To me, it seems like you should have a lot to say.
Well, you looking at it from one aspect. I get exactly what you're saying, but even that, what you just explained, me coming from Sweden, going to school, getting the deal, and doing what I always dreamt of doing, I feel like it's such a blessing. Like, I'm speechless. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really you know, stuff like this don't happen to anybody, especially not where I'm from. You know what I mean? So that to me is just like, you have a song on the album called Speechless too. So I felt like, you know, that would be a great fit to kind of, a name to kind of explain the way I feel and my whole journey and stuff like that. But I also wanted to make the album classic. Like, the albums I grew up with had a song on there with the album title. You know what I'm saying? So that was my whole just idea and you know, vision for this album. So
okay.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like you said, you wrote most of your songs on a guitar, and I saw you brought the guitar with you.
Yeah, I actually did bring my guitar with me. You know, we always keep it. You never know when you want to do a quick acoustic.
Oh,
you know?
You want to drop an acoustic?
Hey, why not?
Why not?
Why not, right?
Turn down for what?
We want to get money back from the guitar and everything. Appreciate it, my man. So, we can do Last Night right quick, just an acoustic version. Why not?
Let's go.
Yeah, baby. Oh, baby. Yeah. You got me feeling on you last night, babe. You wasn't saying I can't lie when I watch my baby. Lip gloss practice came from the spot. Hair done to the girl that was 4 shots ago. Now you can't believe that you did it with me, but you wasn't saying that last night, babe. Yeah. Said, girl, I swear to God, people pay for a smile like yours, and I'm loving it, yeah. And I'm loving it. And girl, I swear to God, they'll pay for an ass like yours if it wasn't there, yeah. Oh, you wanna know we can make this confidential between me and you, babe. Between me and you. Ooh, girl, remember when I said I'm trying to find something to get into? And I was talking about you, babe. I was talking about you, yeah. I can't lie when I watch my baby. Lip gloss practice came from the spot. Hair done to the girl that was 4 shots ago. Now you can't believe that you did it with me, but you wasn't saying that last night. Yes, sir. A little something.
Crazy.
Thanks, man.
Crazy.
Thank you.
Nah, but you know.
That was random, man. You know, I didn't know who was going to do an acoustic here, man. I'm glad you brought it up, though.
Why
That's
not?
dope.
Why not?
Right.
You got some signatures on there.
Yeah.
Any story behind those?
Yeah, man. Like actually, every like radio station we go to and stuff, we have like the PD, you know, sign and stuff like that. And it's just like we've been getting a lot of love, and they've been embracing us a lot. So I just definitely want to keep this as like memories. You know what I'm saying? Of my first single. You know what I mean? So hopefully, looking back at this will
Oh no, that's definitely love,
Yeah, man,
Especially, you giving back to radio, working there, and then, having a piece of them, whether a program director or a music director.
Exactly.
They're going to every station, competitor or not, whatever, man, it's all love, man.
Yeah, and it makes it look a lot better too, you know what I mean? Kind of gives it that like classic rock, how people used to have the guitars up at Hard Cafe.
Oh yeah.
With autographs on it, you know what I mean? Kind of gives it that feel, so yeah.
Solid, but Sebastian Mikael, the single's called Last Night, and it's moving on the charts on Billboard. I'm sitting back. I mean, I'm playing on my mix show. I got some other DJs on it, but
appreciate that, man.
all the other stations in Philly are on it, and it's moving, man.
Yeah, man. I'm super happy. I just want to say shout out to everybody here in Philly, for the love, everybody that's playing it and stuff like that. I really appreciate that. And also, by the way, my video's dropping on 106 and Park October 4th, so make sure you guys check it out.
Yeah. And check it on Vivo and then
and
YouTube.
Vivo. It's out right now, so yeah, definitely go check that out. And follow me on Instagram at Sebastian Mikael, Mikael. Twitter, Facebook, the same name. So definitely hit me up on that.
That's perfect. And we'll see you next time.
Dope.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.